the the parasites are, it's crazy because like, first off, well, one of the symptoms, one way that you kind of know is just like you have to go to the bathroom a ton. But it's like, it's just different because it's like, I mean, yeah, without getting too graphic, like when someone has normal diarrhea, it's just like, you know, stuff goes through them quick. When you have parasites, it's almost just like, I mean, you eat something and it automatically goes through you. I mean, it's just the most surreal thing. For example, I think one time I had to use the bathroom like 11 times in an hour. And so it's really hard. I mean, it's hard to go and work because you're constantly like having to use the bathroom, you know? Another way that you can tell is I knew that something was weird, and this was just a personal thing. I knew something was weird because my stomach like hurt, but not just like, oh, I have like a stomach ache. It was kind of like a stabbing pain in my stomach. And I was just like, this is like a weird pain. I do not know what's going on here. And so, you know, I called the nurse. She had me go get a test done, and sure enough, I had parasites. And so that was really weird. And I think because you're going to the bathroom all the time, another like symptom, but I think not only because of that, but also because these parasites are just like taking all of your nutrients, you get really dehydrated and you just lose a ton of energy because you're eating food and you're getting dehydrated because you have to use the bathroom so much, but not only are you just losing a lot of water, but you're not getting any nutrients because all the parasites are like stealing them. And that's like what they thrive on, right? That's what they grow from. And so that was like, it was like during the mission, it was just kind of like whatever, you know, like, you know, they'd always say, if you haven't pooped your pants as a missionary, you're not a real missionary. That's what they said in my mission. And sure enough, that happened to me. Like it happened like a couple times. But it was, I mean, in the mission, it was just kind of like, whoa, this is like, I have parasites. This is like, what? Like, how does this even happen? This is cool. Like it never was that big a deal. You know, it was very unfortunate, like, and very uncomfortable. But it wasn't like, oh man, I wish I was like at home right now, you know, in the States where like I wouldn't have parasites. It was kind of like this. I mean, I think that's kind of a personal thing too. I just thought it was cool. Like I was like suffering this crazy thing that I was never going to have to like be able to suffer again. I don't know, you know, who knows where life will take me, but yeah, I really thought it was like kind of a cool experience, but at the same time, it was just like you had to be super careful because you just never knew when all of a sudden you're gonna have to use the bathroom, and it wasn't like you could tell. Like kind of like when you're sick to your stomach and have diarrhea or something, you can kind of tell. You're like, oh yeah, like I'll probably have to use the restroom in 20 minutes or something. You know, like you can kind of tell it starts to come on. With parasites, all of a sudden it's just like, oh my gosh. And so you just like start booking it for like the nearest bathroom. But if you're out in the boonies, sometimes it's like, there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. No one has toilets. Your house is way, way far away. So we often would, I mean, I don't think I ever did this, but we were told as missionaries, like from our mission president, to like carry toilet paper around all the time, not only for like situations where you can't find a restroom, but also because like a lot of people didn't have toilet paper. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. I never had to do that, but I knew missionaries that did. As far as like not getting them, just be really, in some ways, I'm hesitant like to like even give this advice because in some ways it's almost inevitable. And I say that for one reason, because people will make you food, or you know, you schedule an appointment with someone, and it's not like a dinner appointment, it's not like a lunch appointment or anything. They're not inviting you over to eat, and you get there and they have something made for you, and it was super hard for me. You know, there were certain things that like I just never did eat, and I was very, very good about that, like pork. I think I talked about pork last time, and how that has some parasites, like brain parasites, that can be super, super dangerous. But I it was hard for me to see a family that was living in such poverty make something for me and like be super excited to give it to me, and then me like turn it down. So there were a lot of times when, like, you know, there were certain things that, like, I would eat the food, and there were certain things that I wouldn't eat that I knew were probably worse than others, like certain fruits, or, you know, lettuce. I tried to stay away from lettuce, like in salad, but sometimes it was almost just like unavoidable. So you know that it's been prepared using tap water, which has amoebas in it and can have like mosquito larvae, so worms, right? And you know it's been prepared using that stuff, but I could never really just be like, you know what, I know you're poor and you get paid $4 a day and you probably spent 2 of them on this, but I'm not going to eat it, you know? So that was really difficult. But advice that I would give you is, you know, let people know. If someone's going to ask you, hey, can we have you over for lunch? Just be like, yeah, that would be awesome. We can't, you know, drink this. We can't do this. We can't eat this because of these reasons. And, you know, I'd always pull the card, yeah, I'm just like a little white gringo and like my stomach's really weak, like I can't handle it. And people laugh, you know, so it's not like an awkward situation. Because the Latin people are so loving. Like that's what they want to give you stuff. Like they want, even people that like weren't members, they wanted you in a way to like be part of their family. Like they're just so loving and accepting. So to turn them down can oftentimes hurt their feelings if you don't do it right. And so you have to be very careful with that. And also, it just always made me feel bad because I was like, these people are super poor. And they just spent like a ton of money relatively on that meal. And like, I'm going to say no, you know? So it was a very, for me, it was a super touchy subject. There were some missionaries that they were just like, you know what? I'm not going to eat that because it's going to make me sick, whatever. And a lot of times I would sit there and I'd sit down and I'd be like, Heavenly Father, please just don't let me get sick. I'm not seeking to drink this thing or eat this thing. Just don't let me get sick. And, you know, I got parasites and amoebas towards the beginning of my mission, and then I never really ran into them again. Now parasites, you can take the balm is what they call it. I don't know if anyone else has called it that, but the balm is like a pill that you take that kind of just like kills everything inside of you, like your intestines and in your stomach and everything. And so it kind of just like flushes everything out, but with like crazy chemicals that just kill everything. But parasites can like hide in the folds of your intestines. So even still, every once in a while, like I'll be completely fine, like not gone out to eat and gotten, you know, like having the possibility of gotten food poisoning, and all of a sudden it's just like, whoa, oh my gosh. So they'll let you know that they're still there. They'll let you know that you guys are still friends every once in a while. But yeah, like just be careful with what you eat. That's always like prevention, right? Is always a lot easier than cleaning up, which is sometimes hard with parasites because they can be elusive. But yeah, I mean, I never worried like, oh no, am I gonna get parasites and then die? It was just kind of like, well. Like, I kind of just took it as, like, part of the mission. It was something that was going to happen. But, yeah, I think, and definitely this was something that, you know, I did before my mission, but I guess I wasn't, like, super gung-ho about it. But washing your hands. Like, we would wash our hands after everything. And carry around, like, hand sanitizer just because, like, you know, you're working in the dirt helping someone in service. Or, you know, just knocking doors. And it's so dirty that, you know, you think it's just dirt because, like, you know, if I go outside and play in the dirt or go run around in the park and I come home, like here, you know, I don't usually wash my hands if I'm just going to, like, eat something. Like, I might, but if I'm not super dirty, I'm just like, oh, whatever, I'll just eat it. Because it's a lot more sanitary here, like in the States. There's a lot more, like, health regulations and sanitation stuff. Down there, it's not, really. There's just, like, trash everywhere. And dirt everywhere, and I mean, nasty landfill stuff everywhere. So you can't. So you have to wash your hands really, really well and a lot. And if you do, usually you didn't get sick. So that was pretty cool.